Greetings and salutations, Second Star, right back with some more Raid Shadow Legends. And today I thought, since we're sequestered in place here in Second Star 8 Studios, which is my desk in my bedroom, I thought that we would go over the Corpulent Cadaver. He is a undead horde, he's rare, and he is a hit point based provoke champion. And before we go over his skills, let's just bask in this reflected glory. Alright, I don't know what is going on, but he is this disgusting, disease-ridden, pustule-popping, carbuncle-crusted, fistula-erupting mass of a man, and it is so vile. It's disgusting on every level. I mean, he reminds me of the helmet here, right? The death mask that he has. It's not coming off. You know it's not. It's stuck there. It's like those people that leave their disposable contact lenses on and they kind of fuse with their corneas after a while. I don't like it, but I get it. I really do. The synergy between the champion design and his skill set is really good, right? I understand the provokes, right? I get it. This guy looks like he can take some punishment, but more than that, it looks like he wants to take some punishment. Right? It looks like he stepped out of a Clive Barker novel, and we know that guy has predilections, right? He just fits in. Can you imagine getting hit? I would probably have that response too. It's like, stop hitting me, you fat bastard! You got pus on me. Have at you, right? I get it, right? So that works for me. And so let's go over to the skills, and we'll see if that makes sense to you. Okay, so his crushing mass. This is A1. It attacks one enemy, inflicts additional damage if this champion is under a shield buff, and the damage is equal to 30% of the value of the shield. Okay, that's all well and good. You go into the A2, Disgusting Display, places a shield buff on this champion equal to 20% of their max hit points for 3 turns, and then grants an extra turn. And the granting an extra turn is after 3 ascensions. But I got this guy ascended and mostly booked at level 50. Okay, so when we go into Baleful Tenacity, which is his provoke, attacks one enemy, has an 80% chance of placing provoke debuff for 2 turns. Again, damage based on hit points. I've complained ad nauseum about hit point based champions doing no damage. It's an issue with me. But think about shields for a second. Shields all stack, right? So he's a hit point based champion, which you can also, you already stack a lot of hit points on hit point based champions. It just works out really well, just the way gear sets are. And shields all stack, right? So if shields all stack, put a shield set on them. I also have a divine life set on, which is another shield. So we have 30% ally protect, ally shield for 3 turns from the shield set, right? And we have another 15% coming from the divine set, and those stack. So you already have 45%. New shields. Got someone in your team that does shields. Zelata, right? Is a good one. Sister Militant has all shields. Romero. All these champions, you could conceivably Valerie. You could put these in your team and increase your odds of having a shield on to maximize your damage from your A1. Right? It's a nice cascade. I talk a lot about skill cascades, and this guy's skill set just works out really well. Why did that close? Come back here, you. This guy's skill set just works out really well. It's like a little self-contained puzzle, right? It's just nice the way everything fits together. He's a good self-contained HP damage provoke unit. All right, so let's look at masteries then. So I did not take them all the way down through tier 5. I didn't find it necessary. I just wanted the base ones. And in the support tree, I gave him more hit points to beef up his damage. That's what I was kind of doing with this test. This whole thing was kind of a thought experiment as how much damage can a hit point based champion do. And I thought because the damage is based on shields, and shields are really easy to stack, that we could really beef up his damage output. So I increased his hit points rather than going for accuracy, which you might want to do if you want to make sure you land your provokes. I, of course, got Shield Bearer to add the 5% to his shields, got some turn meter from Rapid Response, and this is the accuracy that I got, the Swarm Smiter, which is a really good one for waves. Very good wave accuracy increasing skill. Tough Skin, add some defense. Rejuvenation, of course, to add the value of the shield. And while hit point based champions don't necessarily get targeted very often. He does have a provoke, and so he's going to be taking damage from there, but he's also going to be taking damage from bosses and other AoEs. And so, since his damage is based on his shield being as intact as possible, I wanted to minimize the damage coming in from AoEs. So that's why I took that one. All right, and now after we go through all this, what does it mean? Okay, so I took him into. Let me find my thing here. I took him into Ice Golems 15, mostly because it's on our event right now. So I took him a tournament. There's an Ice Golem tournament going on. So it's a good one. Plus, Ice Golem, I just enjoy it. It's one of the dungeons I enjoy the most. I like extra minions in my boss fights, as opposed to like Dragon, where they don't have it. So let me get rid of my face so you can see his comparison with Lord Chamfort. And the reason I have Lord Chamfort in is strictly for his HP aura. He has a 50% HP aura, which is pretty impressive. So here we go. He did 500,000 damage, which is more than Tayrel. Even Tayrel has, an AoE. So we see that Corpulent Cadaver can put out some DPS. Granted, the entire team is built to service him for the most part, right? We got the hit points coming in for Lord Chamfort. We got Rain Beast and Zelata putting in shields and heals. So that was a really good team comp. I ran it again to see if I could change things up a bit. I just changed some gear on Rain Beast and Corpulent Cadaver. I swapped their boots, actually, and that gave us this. We did more damage, but look at that. It took 9 minutes and 41 seconds, and that is no fun for anybody. It really isn't. No one has the patience for that, right? That's just death by 1,000 cuts. And I'm not speaking in hyperbole. I think it actually did take 1,000 times and hit the guy to bring him down. So that's not, I'm not saying that as a turn of phrase. I think it, death by 1,000 cuts, literally. That's just too long. All right, so then what I did was I swapped out, oh, I can go back here. I swapped out Lord Chamfort for Pitiless One. Pitiless One is, of course, attack champion, and I have him at lead because he adds a 19% crit aura to the team. So then I thought at least we'd get through this a little bit faster. And we do get through it a little bit faster, but it's not faster by much, unfortunately. I think that this takes something like in the order of 6.5 minutes to get through. And this is I'm running at 200%, so I have to find something to talk about for 3 minutes to get through here. And so what I'll talk about is the damage output that we're seeing from Corpulent Cadaver. Okay, so he's still getting shields and heals from Rain Beast and Zelata, which is really helping out a lot, because he's also putting in his own shield. But what you can notice is that his damage is super consistent from fight to fight and from engagement to engagement. There he had a nice 24,000 crit. He's doing so much more damage than the other 50s that are in here. He does more than a lot more than Rain Beast. And Rain Beast is not totally built. Rain Beast has no masteries, but he's just really outclassing. Another 23,000 crit from a hit point based champion. It's pretty insane. You don't really see that, especially from a rare, right? All right, so now he's going to provoke. That's what he's here for. Provoking that left minion is super important. With that heal down, provoking that minion and getting the heal down on Corpulent Cadaver, someone who has a huge hit point pool already, and then that's not even counting the shields, right? And what's interesting is this was I think the first time that anyone even took damage. We got through the waves. No one actually lost their shields at all through any of the waves. So pretty impressive. But granted, we have Rain Beast, we have Zelata shielding, and as well as Corpulent Cadaver, having his own shield. Okay, now Pitiless One is super squishy, so he's paying the price for his decent damage output. I did a guide on Pitiless One a while ago where I wasn't really impressed with him, but after I did that video, I found that I did actually use him pretty frequently, just because he's versatile. Right, you can use him in a lot of places. You can't use him in end game because he doesn't bring enough to the table. All he does is do damage and heal himself. He attacks often, but he doesn't really bring a whole lot to the table. So I kind of like with Corpulent Cadaver, if you're thinking, where's he going to be in the game as I work through it. This is his role. I think his role is just surviving through dungeons. There's quests in challenges to complete. Level 15s these dungeons. He can help you with most of them. Outside Spider and Fire Knight, where he doesn't have enough utility just because he doesn't have multi-hit A1s. So he's no good in Fire Knight or Spider. But getting through Dragon, he can help you. Getting through all the potion dungeons, no problem. I actually took him in a rank 15 potion dungeon. I think it was the 4th dungeon. And I took him with a level 40 Valerie just because I wanted, the shields up. And she lived through the dungeon mostly because of him able to provoke the dungeons and just having enough support to keep her alive, which is not bad, right? I mean, they've changed it so that the level 15 dungeons give you the minimum amount of rewards is significantly increased. So a lot of people didn't run level 15, but I think it's worth running level 15 now. The time and energy ratio to rewards is much more improved than it used to be. Alright, so Ring Beast is about to go down. We didn't get the provoke on it at the right time, unfortunately. So I think we're going to lose Rain Beast here. Yeah, but look at that. With his dying breath, he throws and it glows on Pitiless One. So Pitiless One was able to get shields because he was getting down low too. So thank you, Rain Beast, for that maneuver as you fell in combat. I appreciate that, and so does Pitiless One. But all through, I think the lowest damage that Corpulent Cadaver puts out, I think, is like 6,000, which still, it's not, again, if you're in the end game and you're just seeing all of your champions put out huge numbers, it's not all super impressive. But at this level, for a hit point based champion, that you don't really have to worry about dying because he's just so bulky, it's not bad, right? And I have a theory too. You saw earlier in the waves, there were husks in the waves. Both Husk and Corpulent Cadaver wear death masks, right? Which is more of a Night Revenant thing as far as raid goes, right? You don't see a lot of the undead hordes wearing those death masks that the Night Revenants wear. All right, Husk and Corpulent Cadaver, they're pretty girthy, right? So I think that they were in a Night Revenant and they failed the physical, right? They were out of shape and they got booted into the undead hordes, right? I'm sticking to that theory. I think that's what happened. All right, so we're in the home stretch now. I just got to get rid of that stupid. I hate that minion that puts the heals down. At least he's stunned. All right, Pitiless One is almost dead. I think we're gonna lose him. He did get the shield in, but it's not looking good for him. He has like 1 hit point. All right, so the crit took him out. So now it's just Tyrell, Zelota, and Corpulent Cadaver, who has not been at risk this entire fight to bring down the boss. And I think we're almost going to get to the point where they skip the minions and they're just going to go straight to doing boss damage. So good. Home stretch now. All right, nice 13,000 hit. Yep, okay, looks like we're skipping the minions. Good. So, 16,000. It's not bad for level 50 rare hit point based champ. That's not, you don't have to worry about him staying alive. These are good damage numbers. They really are. I mean, they're nothing to write home about. I wouldn't want him to carry your team or nothing, on purpose. But it's not bad. It's really, his performance is really nice. That's 387,000 damage. That'll get me out of the way. Pitiless One, of course, did almost 600,000, but that's his job, right? And then he died. Okay, but look at that. This one's 172,000 shield absorption numbers. Not bad. Corpulent Cadaver took hardly any damage the entire fight. I mean, that's not even, that 36,000 isn't even his health pool, right? So, pretty good. A pretty good showing all around. All right, so again, I wouldn't take him to 6 stars probably, but I think this is a guy that can help you get through some hard dungeon content. He can get there. He can provoke. If you want to do it manual, you can provoke the champions in the waves that are giving you a hard time. If you beef him up enough, you can probably go auto. I don't know. I think just getting through mid game, he's a really nice champion to have. So maybe you were trying to do the Rotos fusion and you couldn't finish, and you're going through your Rotos fusion, you couldn't finish. Corpulent Cadaver, you have him ascended. Throw a shield set on him and see if he helps you get through some other content. Why not? I don't know. I think he's pretty decent for a rare. He's one of the better rares out there as far as I'm concerned. Really good skill set, really good design. He just works and puts out some damage. For a hit point based champion to put out damage, I'm finally impressed with what that archetype in that regard. Alright, so if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Throw me a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I'm really getting up there. I'm at past the halfway point finally to 1,000 subscribers. I'd like to get there sometime. That would be nice. And join my Discord if you want to chat there. I'll help you out with any questions that you might have. I can help you out there. Alright, so thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. You guys are great, and I will talk to you next time.